Toyota claims that the EV mandates are impossible to meet, and Toyota's CEO said California and 16 other states in their semi-national mandate that 35% of 2026 model cars will be zero emissions, basically electric, is impossible for that to happen. According to Toyota's North American COO, Jack Hollis, in quote, "I have not seen a forecast by anyone, government or private, anywhere that told us that the number is achievable. And at this point, it looks impossible. Demand isn't there, and it's going to limit a customer's choice of the vehicles they want." This is what we've been saying for years. One example of not making the mandate is Stellantis, maker of Jeep, which made gasoline-powered non-hybrids available only on special order in California and the other 17 states that have adopted the California Air Resources Board standards. This has hurt Stellantis, and the results are the latest job cuts last week of 1,100 UAW-represented employees at the automaker's Toledo South Assembly Plant in Ohio. This is where they build the Jeep Gladiator. And that's a problem, not just for the UAW, but also impacts our economy. Now, under California's advanced clean air mandate that starts with the model year 2026, automakers must either sell enough cars or buy enough credits, usually from Tesla, for the equivalent of 35% of their vehicles sold in California to qualify as zero-emission vehicles, of which up to 20% can be plug-in hybrids and at least 15% which have to be all-electric. Automakers will pay $20,000 fine per ZEV credit they're short, meaning car makers will have to either buy credits from other automakers with excessive credits, which there aren't too many other than Tesla, maybe Rivian, and other of those type of vehicles, or sell fewer non-ZEV vehicles, which means they're going to get more expensive. All cars are going to get more expensive, and car makers will not absorb these costs. The Advanced Clean Cars mandate applies to Massachusetts, New York, Oregon, Vermont, Washington State, and of course California for model year 2026, and Colorado, Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey, New Mexico, Rhode Island, and Washington, D.C. for models 2027. No car maker will make cars for one state, so all states are going to be getting more expensive cars and less options available to you until that mandate and that tax credit's removed, which we hear is coming. One challenge for electric vehicle owners in California is the high cost of electricity. The high costs are across the country. Energy prices are so high in California that the California Air Resources Board says that the state is near the point at which it's cheaper to propel a car on gasoline than it is on electricity. We haven't been saying that for a long, long time. Now, last week, CARB voted to create a $105 billion credit for EV charger operators to be paid for with rising carbon emissions fees on the petroleum refineries that produce gasoline and diesel. In other words, they're taking from one industry to help another, which is never going to work out in this particular case. Now, CARB estimates that the measure will create 47-cent per gallon pass-through cost on gasoline in 2025. But wait, California has also added a 68-cent per gallon tax that is going into effect at the first of the year. So that offsets it all and actually just raises the price of gasoline. This just makes gasoline and hybrid-powered vehicles even more unaffordable. And the state believes that by raising the price of gasoline and subsidizing electric vehicle charging, CARB's new low-carbon fuel standard initiatives, I love these titles, they're absolutely the backwards of what they say it is, makes more Californians want to get out of gasoline-powered cars, either acquire an electric vehicle or use public transportation. That's their goal. And this will not work. It just angers residents. And I'm sure they will also anger residents in Massachusetts, New York, Oregon, Vermont, Colorado, Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey, New Mexico, Rhode Island, Washington, D.C., and Washington State will all be doing the same foolish moves. And this impacts you. California is able to pass its own emission standards via a waiver granted by the Environmental Protection Agency, which first granted California a waiver to deal with smog pollution in the Los Angeles area in the latter half of the 20th century. This was a good idea at the time. The Obama administration ordered an expansion of California's waiver, and this is where things got sticky. They included pollution and included emissions, which gave them even more power. And in 2019, the Trump administration revoked California's EPA waiver, a move that was held up in the courts until the Biden administration put the waiver back in place in 2021. So we tried to undo one state controlling the rules for the other, but the court sided with Biden because he was next in office. Now, Trump's going to be back in office. Let's see if we can remove this waiver because it will help all states be equal. Now, it's likely that the second Trump administration could revoke California's EPA waiver once it takes office in January, which would, if upheld in the courts, invalidate many of the emissions programs and mandates created by California and other states that follow. We'll be watching and we will be reporting. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this, and check out our car review channel, Car Smarts. You can support me by buying me a cup of coffee, and if you want even more content, check out the links in the description. I'm Lauren Fix. Thank you so much for watching.